Oh boy, I'm ready to do this video. I love doing modern coins to look for. We're going to be looking at some state quarters. So if you have any state quarters, we're going to look at what you should be looking for that can make them valuable. So let's just hop right into it. First off, these coins did sell on eBay. So this first one is a pretty extreme type of error. You can see that, this is something you would definitely notice if you come across it in a coin roll or something like that, or in pocket change. Definitely a pretty self-explanatory type of error. It's quadruple struck. Like I said, pretty simple type of error. This state quarter sold for over $300. Now next up is a 2001 Rhode Island state quarter. And this quarter here has a cut on it, and you can see there to the left that cut taking place. So always be on the lookout for cuds. You can look for those on any type of denomination of coins. So this quarter only sold for around $20, so nothing really valuable, but still it's turning 25 cents into 20 bucks. Selling it on eBay, not too bad. Now here for the next quarter is a 2001 state quarter. It is the Kentucky state quarter. And this quarter has a cut also here on the left side of the quarter. So that's very noticeable. Always be on the lookout for that, but you can definitely pass those up pretty easily. And this quarter did sell for over $20 as well. Sticking to a $20 quarter, this quarter is a waffled quarter. So it's been canceled in the mint. That's pretty cool. You can actually see the design here of the state quarter. And this coin did sell for around $20, like I said, as well. Now moving on to the next state quarter error coin here. This coin sold for over $60 because it was struck on an elliptical planchet. You see how the coin is not all the way round as it should be. The planchet is an elliptical planchet that it was struck on. And this coin sold for, like I said, over 60 bucks. Moving on to the Iowa 2004 Denver minted state quarter here, and this is graded at a mint state 65 by PCGS. It does have a defective reverse clad layer, so we can see that there as the reverse clad layer has been almost like cut off in a couple pieces there, and you can see the inner copper layer of the quarter. So that's a really cool type of error. This coin did sell on eBay for over $125. But let's move on to the 2005 California state quarter. Now this is pretty simple. The coin has been struck 10% off center. It's pretty cool. This is simple to look for. I always say, look for off centers on every coin because they literally have it on every type of coin. So all you have to do is just go through change and look for different types of errors like this. This quarter sold for over $65. Next up is a pretty cool type of error. It might get passed up if you're not really paying attention. You might just think it's damage. However, it is a 2005 Minnesota quarter, and the obverse has been struck through. So when the coin was being produced, something got in the way and it was struck through, as we see here on Washington's head. So that is a real mint error taking place there. And this Minnesota quarter sold for around $70. Moving on to a 2009 District of Columbia quarter. Now this isn't, I guess, in the state quarters, but it is the 2009 quarter. Now this you would probably almost mistake for damage as well if you don't really know coins that well. This coin has been struck on a damaged planchet. A damaged planchet. So here on the reverse, you can see that line going through there. Looks like damage. On the coin, it doesn't look like a mint error, but it actually is. The planchet was damaged when the coin was struck. On the front, you can actually really see it here because you see the crack going all the way down as a result of that. Now this coin sold for over $50, so nothing really too expensive, but definitely something to always keep an eye out for. Moving on to a cud error again on the 2007 Montana state quarter. We see that cut on the left side of the quarter, and it almost kind of blends in with the mountains there if you're not really paying attention, but definitely inspect the coins closely. This coin sold for around $30. Let's move on to the next quarter, which is a Delaware state quarter, and it's got a double clip. So these clipped errors, you can definitely sell them on eBay. Probably some of them, this one isn't graded, so you can sell them on eBay, non-graded, graded, however you like. This coin did sell for around $25. so it's probably not worth getting graded, as it would cost much more to get an error coin graded than $25. Alright, so here's some other state quarters to look for as well. A 1942 Denver minted Washington quarter. Now this coin isn't high graded like a mint state coin or anything like that. It's got a double die obverse taking place, which means that there is doubling taking place on the front of the coin. So if you have a 1942 quarter in your coin collection, get you a cheap little coin USB microscope. You can get them on couchcollectibles.com. Link is in the description. That way you can see your coins up close and see if there's any doubling on the lettering, Washington himself, on the phrases, or on the date. Now this quarter here sold for over $1,700. Moving right along to the same error taking place on a 1943 Washington quarter. Of course, these quarters are silver. Now this quarter here isn't in the best condition. However, it does have doubling taking place on the front of the coin, and that's why this quarter sold for over $1,700. Next up is a 1946 Washington quarter that has a double die reverse. So there's doubling taking place on the back of the quarter. Like I said, get the USB coin microscope and you guys will be able to see doubling on the lettering or on any type of design on the quarter. Now this coin here sold for over $840. Next up is an interesting type of error. This is a 1964 quarter that was struck on a 1964 Denver minted Roosevelt dime. So a silver quarter struck on a silver dime. So you can see there in the images displayed, the whole quarter does not fit on the coin. The whole design does not fit on the coin there, and that's because it was struck on a dime. This quarter is very valuable. This coin sold for over $4,300. Next up is a 1965 Washington quarter. Now this is a really interesting coin because it's got a couple errors taking place here on this quarter. Like I said, it's a 1965. It's been struck through two staples. So you can see the staple there on the front, up there at the top going through the word Liberty, and you can see the staple there on the back at the top. So that is pretty cool, man. I would love to find something like that to add to my coin collection. Now this quarter here sold for over $1,400. Next up is a 1966 Washington quarter. Now this is a double die reverse as well. It isn't a high graded coin, mint stated coin or anything like that. It's at an extra fine 45. So this quarter has doubling taking place on the reverse, and this quarter here sold for over $900. Now I've showed 1966 double die reverses before, but I haven't showed like lower graded ones. So I want to show you guys what those actually sold for as well, instead of just mint stated coins, very high graded coins. These are coins that are in condition that you could actually find in a coin roll. Now next up is a 1970 Washington quarter. It has been double struck in color. Now it is a San Francisco minted proof quarter, and you can see that double strike taking place on the words Liberty, on the phrase "In God We Trust," as well as on the date and Washington. The whole quarter is double struck. So this quarter sold for over $1,500. Next up is a 1970 Denver minted Washington quarter. Again, not at a very high grade. It's at about uncirculated 50. It's got a double die obverse, so there's doubling taking place on the front of the quarter. What you want to look for is on the words "In God We Trust," the word Liberty, the date, 1970 itself. Look for doubling on all three of those. This quarter here sold for over $1,200. Next up is a 1971 Denver minted Washington quarter. Now this quarter is very interesting. Most likely not going to find something like this in pocket change, but hey, you never know. So the quarter was struck on a 5-cent planchet, and it looks pretty normal there on the front, 1971. However, if you look on the back, you can see that there is a brockage taking place, and that's what gives it a lot of value. This coin here sold for over $2,500. Next up is a 1972 Washington quarter, San Francisco minted proof quarter. Now this has been double struck on the front of the quarter as well. If you look there to the top of Liberty, you can really see it on the B-E-R and T there. And then the date, 1972, as well as on the phrase "In God We Trust" again. Now, this quarter here sold for over $1,300. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.